First thing you want to do is write down, what is your current relationship with your food? How do you use it? Are you using it as a coping mechanism? Are you using it to substitute for something else that's lacking in your life? So, what is your current relationship with food? Is number one. Number two, what food means the most to you? Like, what does it mean to you? Are you just using it for fuel and nutrition, or do you use it to celebrate? Do you use it as coping? What does food really mean to you? And I want you to take your time through these steps. There's no hurry. This is your story. So you're writing your story now. Okay. Number three, how do you cope with your emotions when you go through tough times, when you go through great times, happy times? How do you react? How do you deal with your emotions? Okay, so let's write that down. Number four, your physical environment and your circumstances right now. So look around your physical environment. What does your physical environment include? What are your life circumstances right now, and how are they affecting you? Okay, how are you being affected by your environment? Loves, that's important. What we have around us, what we listen to, what we watch, it really does affect us, and it affects your emotions, which can also affect how you respond to food. So, really look at that one, your physical environment and your circumstances and how it affects you. Number five, we have personal preferences when it comes to food. What do you like to eat? What is your preferred preference? What do you, when you go out and you look at something, what are you usually drawn to? Look at that. And then ask yourself why you may be attached to that food. It could come from number six, social influence may influence how you eat. Number seven, your family dynamics around food could be how these number five is affected. And then, so you'll want to look at five, which is your personal preference when it comes to food. Number six, social influence, how your social gatherings, how your life, how social media, because social media can have a big impact on people's lives and their nutrition, on who you're listening to, the fad diets that come out. I lost 10 pounds in 5 days type of things. Those sort of things. How is that influencing you in your long-term health? Because we're looking long-term. We're not looking short-term. We're looking long-term because you want something that's sustainable. Okay. So then we move to seven, your family dynamics around food. Did you grow up where you were trained? And I was, and my parents were, I had a beautiful mother and a wonderful dad. And we were trained to eat everything on our plate, period. You didn't get up to eat everything off your plate. You had to finish it all. And I understand now that when my body says I'm full, I'm full. I don't have to eat everything on my plate. But it took me a long time to get there because of my family dynamics around food and how it affected me. And I didn't really realize that until I started to analyze how I ate and to write my own story, to see like, oh, wow, this really does impact how I eat. I was taught and trained like from baby up, I guess, because, for all those years, eat everything, whatever's on your plate, you have to eat it all, period. Even if you're full, eat it all. You just have to eat it all. And I understand now that came from a sense of lack, that we may be lacking something in our other parts of our lives. So you get this good meal in you, it'll sustain you, right? But we also need to know that we have to listen to our bodies when they're full, they are full. And it's okay to push that plate away and say, you know what? I don't have to finish everything on my plate. That was enough right there. And then number eight, how do the members of your family relate to food? You may not think that that has much to do with how you relate to food, but family has a big impact on us and how we relate to food. If everyone in your family happens to be heavy and you're heavy also, when you decide to make a life change, when you decide to take control of your health, it may affect how they feel about themselves. And instead of them addressing it with themselves, they may address it on you. Another show we've seen is where a guy was trying to lose weight and his mother kept feeding him this food that was not good for him. And so the doctor's like, you and your mother have to separate. You can't be in the same house because she's not allowing you to make those changes. And he wasn't strong enough. So look at that. How do your family members relate to food? Okay. Number 9, what are your traditional foods? Okay. I have my traditional foods and I love greens. Anybody know I love collard greens. I love them. That's some I love. But I had to look at how to make them healthier. Okay. And for me, because traditionally how it was made wasn't healthy enough for me. Okay. And for my body and what my body needs. So I had to look at my traditional food and see like, okay, I need to make some adjustments to this food when I want to eat it. Also, the way we were raised to eat sweet potatoes, there was a lot of sugar that was added, a lot of sugar and stuff added to the sweet potatoes. And I had to learn how to make sweet potatoes in a different way that I could still enjoy as my traditional food. And it be tasty, because it can be tasty. You just have to learn. You just have to experiment, guys. Just experiment. It works. You can try different things. And so, yes, my traditional foods had a lot of impact on my life until I found other ways to eat them in a healthier way. Number 10, how does your culture contribute to the foods you eat? That goes along with number 9 as well. How does your culture eat? Some cultures have a lot of starch in their diets. Some cultures have eat more vegetables or have a vegetarian lifestyle. Some people are just real big meat eaters. How does your culture contribute to the foods you eat? So those 10 things are your story. So I'd really love you to spend time today or tomorrow, the next couple of days, to go through and write your own story, so you can get a view of what's your story about. Like mine would be my Christina story, with food, and then you can see where you may have some opportunities to do better. Okay. And like we said, we do everything out of love. There's no judgment. We hold space for you. We're able to write documents send them over to your doctor to tell them about your progress. And you know what? All that starts with a 15-minute conversation to see if you're ready to make those changes. Mr. Hill, anything before we go today?
Wow, what a wonderful show. Just want to thank you for that toolkit. And like I said, there was a lot of information given. So if you didn't catch it all, we just want to encourage you just to, watch this again or just reach out. She'll get you the full list of those things. And here's what I want to encourage you to do is look at those answers as information.
Yes.
Just look at it as information, not judgment. Not that you're good, bad, or indifferent. And believe me, as I always like to tell my wife, I'm not coming down from a mountain with 2 tablets. Believe me, I understand. Mm-hmm. I'll give you just a quick example of this morning. I got on the scale and was not happy with the numbers. And I had to go through that little emotional, for a bit. Then I said to myself, they're just numbers. It's just feedback. It's just information. I had to detach the emotion from it. Mm-hmm. I had an emotional connection with the number, and I had to detach the emotion and the judgment of all that we're talking about. Oh, I should have done this. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. And all that judgment that comes up. Mm-hmm. And so as you go through these 10 things, and it's a tool to help you, you have to at some point, and maybe you need somebody to help you with this. Maybe you can't do it on your own, and that's okay. Maybe you need somebody to help you pull yourself back from the judgment. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're in control. It doesn't mean all the emotional baggage that we bring to numbers, that we bring to calories, that we bring to food. that we bring to relationships. And so that's all I want to say. Please, please, please take advantage of these 15 minutes. I like to call them your 15 minutes. They're
Yes.
your 15 minutes when you can be heard, when you can, and with no judgment. And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be quiet. So many people don't have a space like that in their life at all.
Hmm.
Either they're lonely, or they're in an environment like you mentioned earlier that's not very supportive. If
Hmm.
they were to say something like that, they get all kind of blame and, oh, you shouldn't feel that way, or you should feel this way, or I can't believe you're saying that. So they just pull back. They just pull back. And we want you to be open. We want you to be honest, because we can't solve, or we can't heal from things that we deny. Anyway, it's been a pleasure for me to be here. I'm going to turn this back over to my wife, and we're going to get you guys out of here.
Yes, I want to say my loves, and I always say my loves because healing our bodies is so important to me. I wish there was times when I could have healed um, my parents, done more for them in the healing part of nutrition, and so it's very close and dear to my heart. Someone needs to have space, and I know you're out there today that you need someone to hold space for you. I just want to let you know I'm here. And then also, I want to let you guys know next week, we're going to discuss how stress affects your body. Okay. And how it affects that primary plate. What stressor is on that primary plate? We talked about that's going to affect your secondary plate, which is your food. We're going to talk about that next week, loves. All right. See you later. Bye bye.